My name is Gina Caruso, and this is the 5th annual Honolulu Surf Film Festival.
Okay, so we'll switch over to body surfing film, and I just want to point out that Dave really was one of the guys who did all the water photography. A lot of people don't know Dave lives out on North Shore in Crystal. And so I'd like to start, Dave, if you can just give us a quick little overview of the actual filming part of the film.
My favorite part of this film is we shot it on film, just about all of it, on 16 mil, and I just think that it shows up on the big screen, you know, just see the beauty of film, kind of, for the underwater stuff especially, it just kind of portrayed a really amazing vibe, and especially for Don's part, I thought some of that stuff of Don's was just incredible. I handed the camera off to Keith Malloy, who directed the film, to shoot that underwater stuff with Don because he hadn't shot yet. So I just gave my camera and said go for it, and he did a really, really great job with that. I was really impressed with what he did. Music was all pretty much Keith Malloy, the director. He's got pretty good connections because his, I mean, we're all connected with Brushfire Records, which is Jack Johnson's label, so we all know a pretty big crew of guys that are involved in the music world, and he's got a lot of friends, John Swift, Todd Hannigan, those are all buddies of his. The first song, what's the swimming song, and the second song, it's like my favorite song in the film, but they had to fight for that one pretty hard, and they weren't going to give him to, they were going to make him pay a lot of money for it, and they ended up seeing the film and seeing the cut, and I guess they gave him a little break on it, which was good. But and then the Eddie Vedder connection for Don King's part, that was an integral part as well. We're all friends with Eddie as well, so we were able to get some people that let us have that music for kind of good amount, you know, for free, if not, you know, really cheap. So that was good.
I think the photography in this movie is so great, and we've got two of the guys besides Mike Stewart that made it happen. So Don, your input, and also that beautiful segment about you and your son.
Yeah, thanks, Randy. Yeah, actually, it's kind of ironic because I'm a water cinematographer. I shoot a lot of surfing, but I really didn't shoot anything with this film. And my wife Julianne actually shot some of Bo and I, but like Dave was saying, Keith and Dave came down to the beach and filmed us. But it is really, really hard to get shots like this. You know, these guys and Dave, it's a lot of experience and wave knowledge and understanding photography, understanding the lighting. And you can imagine how hard it is to be underwater and anticipate when that body surfer is going to come right by you and get the framing just right and everything while the waves pounding you at the same time. You know, it's really, really hard. So, great job, Dave. It was beautifully shot. The film has won several awards for cinematography, right?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to say that Don King was a mentor of mine before I even moved to Hawaii, and he'd always been a hero of mine. I couldn't believe when I got to meet him, actually. My friend, Sonny Miller, is like, if you can't load this particular camera, which is like a complete puzzle, he's like, go to Don, and Don will help you load it. He went over it a couple times with me, and I gotta say that everything I've learned is from Don, and I respect him, you know, beyond. And even with what he's dealing with now with his son, huge respect to him. And I'm gonna cry right now because every time I see that part, I want to cry. Sorry, but yeah, thanks Don for everything you taught
me. Can I interject just one second? Don could have been on either side of the camera for this film. He was a collegiate swimmer at Stanford. He's an incredible body surfer, and he's a dear friend of mine.
Dave, I wanted Crystal to say what it's like to be married to a guy, a photographer like that.
I think it's super inspiring. And Dave's so creative, he has so many ideas that, you know, he's kind of all over the place with a lot of ideas, and it's fun to kind of lead him in a direction to be focused. And yeah, but we kind of feed off each other that way, and
Well,
We
that was,
actually met body surfing.
that was kind of the point. Behind every good man, of course, there's a better woman. Why don't we take a couple questions from the audience? Go ahead.
Mark, I enjoyed the part where you were holding the camera and giving us the bird's eye view.
Mike.
Is that Mike? Oh, sorry, I thought it was Mark. But I did want to know, at Tiapopo'o, how did you keep all the board surfers out of the water that day?
Hey, that's a great question. You know, it was really cool. Well, Raymana to begin with, you stay with Raymana, who's like, he's the royalty down there for that spot in that little area. But I have to say, Jamie O'Brien was down there with the Red Bull crew, and I think just out of his pure respect for Mark, I mean, they just left, and otherwise we would have been a crowd, but we had it pretty much to ourselves, and I think it's just kind of a testament to Mark's stature in the sport and in surfing that he had that much respect. The guy just packed up and left. I was like, yeah, those are the right guys.
It was never made clear in the film, but for those of you who don't know, in the film I say something to the effect of Mike is the greatest wave rider in the world, with or without a board. He's a many-time world bodyboarding champion, and he's been kicking my Okoli out at Pipeline in contest for years. And somehow I've become the most renowned body surfer, but truly Mike is the best body surfer in the world.
And to do it with a 10-pound camera.
The sequence you're talking about is just unreal. I mean, body surfing Chopu is just like scary. And he's doing it gracefully, holding a 10-pound camera in his hand, and the footage is there to prove it. So, pretty impressive what this guy does and is done.
You got a question here?
Yeah, I just want to say Tamarama Beach next to Bondi in Sydney has the world champion body surfers. And we only wear Speedos, and you're wearing them wrong. You've got to wear them up the back like a G-string.
The Aussies and Brazilians and Europeans know a thing or two about Speedos, you're right.
You can't get the water in the back if you wear it up the back.
Please, Mark, don't wear them up the back.
Well, the obvious thing after watching the Olympic trials is to get those, I mean, they're not wearing Speedos anymore, they're wearing those speed, the trunks are down to here. I guess they're compression suits, and I can hardly wait to try those out. Seriously.
Anybody else out there? Go ahead.
How many hundreds of feet of film do you go through to create a movie like that? Or mileage?
How much film did we shoot? How many thousands of feet of film? Oh, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of the Chopu trip. We probably shot about 18,000 feet. 1,000 feet, or 15,000 feet or so probably, and 1,000 feet is a half an hour. So about 7 hours of footage. A lot of it, you guys, we can make 5 more movies with the footage that hasn't been seen. It's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. Yeah, it'd be fun to do another cut.
Where do you find the Montana guy?
On YouTube. Where do you find anybody like that? Go to YouTube and Google body surfing and you'll find probably a lot of
How many
characters.
years did it take? How many years?
Oh, the film took, it was a 1-year period to make the film. It's actually pretty good. I think there were some, you guys, wasn't Nixon kind of like breathing down your neck, everyone's neck to get it done in a year? Nixon of Patagonia says kind of you have a year to do this to Keith, right?
It was sort of Keith's baby, Keith Malloy, and on his behalf and his brother Dan, who is featured very prominently in the movie. They're sorry they couldn't be here. They're kind of busy playing with RVs and hypnotizing chickens and drinking beer. They couldn't be here tonight. But no, this was Keith Malloy's baby, and his older brother Chris has made several really good surf films, and I was absolutely honored to be a part of that that creative crew that they put together with their experience and the expertise of guys like Mike and Dave and access to the wonderful soundtrack that we have. One song, I got to give props to a local boy, Mike Ka'ava. He did the, you know, Mike's one of my body surfing buddies from Sandy Beach. He and his girlfriend Melissa, they're at Sandy Beach every morning, and he kind of offered up his full library for the film. And, you know, once again, it's just so honored to, I just feel so fortunate, the people that I know through body surfing, through lifeguarding, through living in Hawaii, and what a talented group of people we have here in Hawaii, and just honored and so stoked to be sharing the stage with Nappy Napoleon and Rabbit Te Kai. Rabbit, I love you. Serious inspiration.
Any more questions?
I got a question for one of the body surfers out there. If you had, like, say, NASA on board, huge budget, what would you make for, like, the body surfer's dream? Like, what kind of a suit, what kind of equipment? Not a lot of equipment, but just like, is there anything that...
I'd make a wave. I'd make a perfect reef. I'd make a bunch of perfect reefs. And no board surfers allowed.
All right, well, I want to thank everybody for coming. It's been a great evening. I think it was a great session. And mahalo for everybody and all our sponsors. Thanks for coming.
Every single day, will it be my time to shine?